Hey there, this is Mike from Mike Buys Houses. Every week we're speaking with homeowners, and when they have good questions, we just try and turn it into a quick educational video for you at home in case you have similar questions. And this week the homeowner was asking us what are some of the options he has for an inherited property. So we went through the top 3 options that we often see homeowners choose for inherited property. The first thing that we talked about is renting it out. So this is typically done either long-term rental with usually greater than 6-month lease, typically a year lease is what we see. And then short-term rentals, things like Airbnb. So as long as you have thought through everything, then this could be a great option for you. You want to consider, is it going to be profitable? That's the most important thing to consider when turning it into a rental. You don't want to be creating what's called an alligator in the industry, which means that every month it costs you money to have this property. So how are you going to figure that out? Briefly, we just chatted about this, and that's going to be you're going to want to consider what the market rent is, and that's going to be determined based on what rentals are in the area with similar layouts, similar bedroom and bathroom, and in a similar neighborhood. Once you figure that out, then you would consider that against the monthly payments that you would have to consider. So principal and interest, taxes, and insurance are the big ones, and then the unexpected costs such as capital expenditures, which are typically planned for, so you want to consider anywhere from 8 to 10% for those, and that's going to include things like the roof and the HVAC and the electrical system, things that are going to eventually, over the long term, need to be replaced, but cost a lot of money at that time. Also, you're going to consider repairs. Those are just normal wear and tear that happens on a property, and that's typically going to be spent during the turnover between tenants, and that is also something you're going to have to account for, which is vacancies. Between the two of them, that could be anywhere from 10 to 15% of the rental income for the year. And then you're also going to need to consider property management if that is the route you're going to take, and that costs about 10% plus 1 month's rent. So if after all those things it still makes sense as a rental, then definitely a good option to move forward. And there's plenty of educational videos out there to learn more. Definitely would recommend the Lumberjack Landlord for that. The other option is to consider turning it into a short-term rental, and you'll definitely want a property manager there because that's going to be a lot of work. And then, again, you're going to consider, is it a desirable area for it to be an Airbnb, and what can you consider the potential revenue to be? So those are just some of the things that we chatted about when considering turning it into a rental property. The next thing that we talked about was you could fix and flip it like you see on TV, basically, where they take the property and update it to the fullest standards of today's market. Brand new kitchen, new bathrooms, new flooring, new painting, fixing everything that needs to be fixed, basically. And this can be done usually with a contractor. You're going to want to talk to a realtor and see if this is going to make sense in your area, based on what the property will potentially sell for when it's fixed up, versus how much it's going to cost you to get to that fixed up status. So you can estimate those repair costs either by talking to a contractor or using www.nailedit.app, just a free calculator that we made if that's something you're interested in. And really you're just going to want to consider what will it cost you to get it fixed up versus what will it sell for. And the third option is to sell it as is. So you can do this by listing with a realtor. And when you're listing with a realtor, that is a great option because it will give you the biggest amount of potential buyers. So when that property is listed on the MLS, not only will there be some buyers who have access to that, but you'll also get access to all the realtors who then are able to show that property to their prospective buyers and really sync up what the buyer wants to your property. So then you can find the perfect buyer much easier that way. Or you could sell for sale by owner. That's another option. It's going to be more difficult because you're going to have to do the work to find the buyers, but you will save in commissions. And lastly, if you're looking for the easy button to sell your property that you just inherited, then you can definitely reach out to us and we would be more than happy to see if we're the buyers for you. We can be reached either by giving us a call, 267-984-4765, or visit us at MikeBuysHousesPA.com, and it would just be a quick conversation, and we would see if we are a good fit And if we are, then we can move forward. Super simple process, and it's basically like hitting the easy button. So if that's something you're interested in, then feel free to give us a call, 267-984-4765, or visit us at MikeBuySHousesPA.com. We look forward to helping you.